Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the section 2 of the first day in the creativity the DIệN seminars. This is in the Vietnamese Festival Creativity and Design 2020, organized by RMIT Việt Nam and UNESCO and VCAS collab Việt Nam with the sponsor of the media from Hanoi Graphite. Ladies and gentlemen, and today I want to continue with the topic. This morning we already discussed about the creativity in the crisis, and today we will discuss the creative transformations in the new normal. And we would like to invite Mr. Thuận, who is the founder of the DNA Digital, to come to share with you this topic. And welcome, Mr. Thuận.
Good afternoon. Okay, so from the section this morning, we talk about creativity in crisis, and then in 2020 we got a pandemic of the COVID pandemic, and you know what? Everything changed. Yeah, everything got a little messed up, a little bit unpredictable. So that's why I want to share a bit about how a creative culture in terms of organizations, and also in terms of how a creative advertising agency to move forward in the next new normal. So before we move to our story, I think I want to talk about my bad experience as a mechanical engineering in Ho Chi Minh City of University of Technology. So it was in 2000s, 2000, yeah, I think it's 2000s, which is long time ago, right? Maybe it's your when you was born. I was in the class, exercise class, and then the teacher talked about how to producing gear, as you see in the machine, and he said about this is a technology of producing gear. I was trying to listen on it and very fascinated about it, but then I realized when I looked down in my foot, I mean on top of my foot, I see it's made in 1950. Yeah, I say, what the hell? A technology was born in 1950, which is my mom age. This is the year when my mom was born, and I'm in the year 2000. I was learning it, and then I said to myself, how can Vietnam can change the world with the old technology like that? And in the year of 2000, we used to say it's a new technology, because if you know that to produce a gear that they can feel each other, and the gear have 16 teeth, 18 teeth, 20 teeth. It's a lot of teeth, yeah? And then it's connected to each other with a little fraction of two pieces of metal to connect to each other. This is really hard to produce it. And I say, what if we move to another new technology, IT, yeah? And then when I do advertising, in the past 2 years, I figured out one thing, this is an ad before, I think it's around in the 1940s. This is an ad about, the Lincoln Zephyr, yeah, it's a car. So you see a lot of text, you see a picture, a nice picture of the car, it's a lot of text. And you know what, the text is just an explanation about the picture, or the picture is an explanation about the text. So that's why Bill Bernbach in the 50s, he produced the combination of the art directors and the copywriters in the creative team to produce an ad. In the ad right now, if you cover the picture, you don't understand what it's all about. But if you cover the text, you don't understand the picture it's all about. So if you see all the pictures and the text together, you will understand a new layer, a new ideas of the advertising. So this is how the new advertising comes in. It was born in the 1950s. By the Bill Bernbach. Bill Bernbach is the creator of the DDB, if you know that. This is a very good agency. Yeah, and actually nowadays in a lot of agency, local digital agency, and sometimes it's a communication agency, we see that the art director is just the visual designing of the copy, which is wrong. Which is it's a technology from the 1930s, not 40s, not now, right? And I think to myself, how can we move from these times into the new time that creative industry and creative culture can flourish, the beauty of the digital ideas. I would love to show you one video, which is what I very like about it. This is the F1 pit stop in 40 or something, 50 or something, and then in 2013. Let's take a look at this. Indianapolis.
Well, Holland comes in for a pit stop. Time to refuel and change tires. Lou Moore himself changes the tires. Only 4 crew members, including the driver, are allowed to work on the car. It's a tense time. Holland stays in his seat, anxious to get away. Let's watch.
You see, it's a few people try to change the tire, change, refuel in a pit stop. Very hard work. It is a real-time video, so it takes a little bit long.
Tires are changed at last. A crewman polishes the windshield as Holland moves away just 67 seconds after he stops.
67 seconds to change the tire, refuel, clean the windshield. 2013. More people. Yeah. They will do the same, change the tire, 4 tire, refuel, clean everything before we go back to track. Simple video, right? So this is just a simple video to say that, we are living in the world of digital. We are living in the world of a lot of technology is involved in everyday life, right? And how we take advantage of it and make things go faster, more efficient is important. Yeah, I look at the 2 videos, the example of me myself when I do mechanical engineering, and also talking about the advertising industry from the 1950 by Bill Bernbach, creation, the combination between art directors and copywriters come together to produce the ideas. I say, oh, okay, we should think about something else, right? And because we work in, actually me myself work in digital agency, so we produce a digital campaign, digital communication strategy, and also try to convince the clients how to be digitalized, be transformed in digital, right? And we figured out one thing, that everything you do in digital is completely different than traditional media is data. Imagine when you look at the TV, you see Netflix, right? Let's say not Netflix, you just see a TV from VTV3. How can they know you watch it? They can't. Simply they can't, right? But for example, if you watch Netflix, will Netflix know that you're watching their TV show? Definitely yes, because you log in, right? You leave, cookie in your computers. They also know whether you watch the show from your, smart TV or your smartphone or your laptop from Ho Chi Minh City or in Hanoi or in different country. So that's why they can distribute different content in different country. So it's a lot of data we're living right now. Let's say you go to Tiki and Lazada, and then the next day you go Viber, you go Facebook, you see the ads about the product you see. It's all the data you leave back to Facebook and Tiki that they can recognize what you need, what you want. So digital have that powerful, and I'm asking myself how the digital creative team can understand the power of data and produce the better creative idea for the people who need it. Yeah, and this is our challenge right now. And also the thing is when you work in digital world, before when it's 15 years ago, you see all the ads is about the ugly, a lot of flashy banner ads. Yeah, and then you see a 7-minute video that talking about an emotional story, something very very long. It's like a TV show, it's the TV show you see, right? But right now, we was condense our, our advertising into before, TBC is 30 seconds, yeah? 50 seconds the most. But now on the 3 minutes, 7 minutes, we are condensed into like 15-second video, 6-second bumper ads in YouTube. Why the digital team had to understand, they had to transform the way they tell the story from 4 minutes to 15 seconds. The traditional advertising agency, they still do the same 30 seconds, they just cut into 6 seconds. It's just different, yeah? Because you see, like when you see the 6-second ad, what did you see? What do you want to see in that? It's not about the product driven, or maybe it's not about emotional stuff about something, but it's certain behavior change from the people. So I think like first is about the creative in digital have been changing a lot from long format to short format, and also it's the power of data. So I would love to show you this. In every 2 days, we create as much information as we did in the dawn civilization up to 2013. This is a quote from Eric Schmidt. It's a founder of Google. So it's a lot of information right now. It's a lot of data right now. The much worst thing is we don't know how to use it. I don't know how to control it, you know, and don't know how to maximize it to create a better creative for people. So that is a challenge. And also, if you look for data, you know, data, it's not just a number. It's not just, you know, a KPI. It's more about intelligence. It's about how you understand people, what people are doing. Yeah. So from channel, meaning like from just add the TVC on the TV station, and you use that data. Yeah. You use that creative asset. You use that TVC. You run it in YouTube, whether it's suitable or not. Definitely not, because the people who go to YouTube, they have a different need, right? They are looking for a game show to see. They're looking for an MV to see. They're looking for something, a song to hear, right? And if you combine the data, you see that how they behave. Let's say if I have an ad about, you know, let's say Appa is it's a detergent brand, right? But if it make like a song that look like a song from Jack's to sing, and then you see, that's the ad to see, and then you see a song from Jack. It's a different story. It's about context. You have to understand the context of people are using the device, or, you know, the items, the channel, not just the channel itself. The second you see, and then something you see, like it is not the data is input, right? You know, how many people see the TVC on the VTV. It's about they see it, what's next they will see, right? The first time you see a TVC for 30 seconds, the next time you will see like a 50-second something, but it's not about the ad. It's a different offer for you. It's a different content for you. The next time you see, it's like a promotion for you to try the product. And sometimes the next time you see, it's an influencer story about the product that convince you to buy the product. It now become like a loop. Yeah, the content has become like a loop. Not just one piece of content. Like everyone has to resonate. It's the same, right? So I think data is changing. They make the people change about how they look at the creative. So as a creative team, we have to change the way we form and we create an idea. Okay, so this is quite interesting for me. And I think this is a very, you know, a funnel, marketing funnel. I think, like, I hope that you can know it. Everything is about awareness. We have to know about it, right? If you want to buy an iPhone, you have to know about the Apple have the iPhone, right? Or they have the iPhone 12, it's just released, right? So you need to know about it, and then you have to interest about it. You have an interest about it, right? So let's say I talk about your new iPhone, but you like Samsung, okay? Then you're not interested about it, right? So you don't have an interest, so you can go to the further deeper in the funnel. In a marketing funnel, right? Let's say you like iPhone 12, right? 3 pieces of cameras, little colors here and there, and then you consider. When you consider, it's a lot of context. What you consider, maybe you consider about the camera, maybe you consider about the feature. I mean, how much RAM they have. How fast the computer is processing, right? It's different things, right? How beautiful the design is, right? How durable the product is. It's a lot of things you can consider about a product. You cannot say it's just one piece of content. And then you can make the change because you just love it. Yeah, the beautiful color, the durable of the product, you know, the premium lifestyle they can bring to you. And also it's just about money. Yeah. And then you purchase and then you become loyal. The thing is, in the traditional advertising, the first 2 layers, yeah, the awareness and the interest is what we play as an advertising agency. You see, a lot of time you have 30 seconds to say something, you just say one thing. And that one thing, by default, it makes you understand about the product and reaches something to your mind. That is interest. Yeah. Sometimes you see, let's say, I hope that you guys all see this morning, the Blue Stone. Yeah. On the everything of Blue Stone, they're talking about what? About, you know, liberal women from the kitchen, right? And about men coming in and help women. Women love it. Men will love it or not, I don't know. But I don't care, because women love it. Because women is the one who buy the product, not men, right? In fact, it just reaches something that the target audience or the people who purchase a product love it. And then you move to consideration. So let's say you move to consideration. Blue Stone cannot say about get your man buy it, but they talk about with this cooking machine, with this it's easy for you to do it. So as a woman, you say, okay, it's easy for me to do it. It's just 5 minutes to create a meal for my family. So that makes me feel okay to purchase the product, right? So when we move to digital, the power of communication and the power of creative is we can move along across all the layers. So from awareness to interest to considerations and then to purchase and to be loyal, everything in digital. So imagine this. Before, right? You see something, you remember something, and then 2 weeks later or maybe 3 weeks later, we will purchase it. So that's why in the communication or the creative idea in communication, we break into phase. Phase 1 to be awareness, phase 2 to be engagement, phase 3 to amplify the people to purchase it. But in fact, right now, look at your behavior. When you see something and then you purchase something, how fast it is. Sometimes it's just 5 minutes, right? You see it, you like it. Let's say you imagine you go to Instagram to buy a shirt, right? You see it, oh wow, beautiful. Click on it. You go to the page, you browse, you see, wow, it's cool. I love it. You message the page, say, hey, how much is it? How much is the item? You say, oh, it's cheap. Let me order once. Send to deliver to my home at the address. This process can happen in 5 minutes, not about 3 months or 2 months. Yeah. So this is the power. I would say this is the power of digital. It's about data. It's about contents to feed it in all the layer. And this is, you have to change, right? I think it's simple. We have to change to make sure that we can deliver our content across the funnel in the marketing funnel. I think it's simple like that. And also, I will share something like this. Different company, different agency, we have different strategy to fit in with certain level of clients. Yeah, but I would love to see that in Vietnam there's 98% of the company it's SME, which is small and super small, and also medium enterprise. Yeah, they need a lot of help. Yeah, they want to sell product. A lot of company in the SME meaning like a lot of product to be sold by them, right? And these information to let you understand that in the COVID, if you look at the data I see in the screen here, in the COVID, these companies are ready for digital transformation. They want to use digital more to make sure that they can deliver the message, deliver creative to the right people at a very little effort, budget, and time. Yeah, and this is our chance. I mean, if you guys are working in a creative industry, and you think about how you can have a small business to grow the business, like from 20 billion revenue every year to 200 billion every year through digital. It's beautiful. Yeah, and I think with the help of digital, we have to train from the way we think about an organization. Yeah. This is a quote from Chuck Darwin, which I really love. Yeah, this is not the most intelligent species or the most strongest species to be survival, but the more responsive to change. Yeah, I think that is the challenge. A lot of creative agency, they are resistant to change. They don't want to change. They don't want to, crack themselves and be living in digital world because they say digital world is not sustainable. Digital it's just buzzword. It's not. Everyone is in digital right now. You guys in digital right now, right? So we have to change the way we think. Yeah, and this is the code that I love because I'm a founder of an agency. I have to move certain state of change in my agency to make sure that it got alive throughout its journey. Yeah, and I would love to show that this is a picture of my team earlier this year when they do a creative section and sharing with clients. You see, there's 2 accounts, and then there's 1 intern. One creative directors, 1 copywriters, 1 art director, and then during the creative team, we have 2 more interns in it. 1 intern copywriter and 1 intern art director in it, and then strategist, planner, and also 1 member of the strategy team. It just produces 1 campaign. Yeah, for communication for clients, it takes a lot of people for such a small task like that. Yeah, it's not about game changing. So I think this is something that facing in a lot of agency. We have a lot of people working in 1 project, but there's not much outcome out of it. Yeah, at the end of the day, this team just produce what? I mean, a piece of creative message and then some certain idea for communication. What if you make it better and faster? Instead of like if you guys are intern in a creative team, you also want your voice to be heard, right? You share your idea. You're afraid your art director, copywriters, send your copywriters and not accept your idea, and then you go to the creative directors, and then he will reject your ideas immediately. Yeah, you want your voice to be heard. You want when your voice to be heard, to get heard. You move up in your confidence level to share the idea, and then sometimes it just gets you better. Yeah. So I would love to share that, become an agile organization. I mean, agile organization is something that, less people in the project, but we produce the work faster. Imagine in your team, when you do teamwork right now, how many people are doing the work? And how many people actually make the work go slower? Yeah, the more people, the slower the project is, right? You have to debate, you have to convince these people or that people to believe in some idea or direction. It takes a lot of time. But if you take in the right people in the team, you can move faster. Yeah, that's why some team move faster than the other team, because the simple reason, it's more people, it's more debate, it's more challenge, more weight for them to come, more convincing task, right? So I think like becoming agile in the creative industry right now is a must, because we are using the old technology. We are wasting a lot of time. We are thinking of new way of digital giving back to us, right? And also, this is the last slide, I think. I'll make a very quick and concise presentation. The rest will be Q&A. This is the model. You look at this. You see right now, let's say you are in the team of copywriter or art directors or maybe creative, and then you work with the strategy and also client service. Every team will have a manager, and you got to talk to each other in the team. Yeah, you got to talk to the manager, and if something happened, the manager will talk to the manager. But it takes 2 days for the manager to understand there's a problem in my team and the other team. But what if this one person and this person are working parallel in every day, so they can understand each other, they can produce better work, right? Don't think that only the creative people in the creative team can think creatively. The thing is like, you have to figure out, when you do creative, you have to figure out what is the problem. A lot of times we don't figure out what is the problem. We just be creative, create something out of the box, but that out of the box doesn't solve any problem. Every business, every brief, they have a certain problem. The problem can be like people cannot speak their name correctly. Yeah. Recently, I remember there's a campaign that's talking about that. The problem can be like people know my names, know my product, but they don't buy my product because they perceive my product is so premium, not very friendly to all the people. Yeah. And sometimes the problem will be like, my product is so good, but not much people know about my names and know my product. I mean, they have a awareness stage about my name and the product. It's a lot of different problems, and we have to figure out what is the problem that the creative will solve. Sometimes identify the problem is not from the creative team, can come from the strategy team, or can come from account client service team. So if you work all together as one small team like that, but we work for so long, we can understand the way you work with each other, right? And also we can understand the clients better in the one project. So this is a recommendation from me, and I implement this in my agency right now. Sometimes we have team, and we have department. Department is like this, yeah. But when we form a team, let's say I form a team, I'm a project leader of a team. I can have some certain people in different department, and because I'm a project leader, right? I have to be responsible. I have to have the responsible for all the team members that I have. Everyone has to be responsible for each other. It's like a small, a living entity in a bigger company, and that's why it becomes better in managing project and producing the idea. You can produce more ideas. You can produce more contents for the clients, and also because you guys working in a team, you understand. Like some people you can work very well, and some people you cannot work very well. Yeah, to produce team like that, it makes the team move faster. Sometimes create a better and cheaper solutions. Cheaper solution, I mean like cost less. Yeah, you see that image with a team like that for the pitch for 2 weeks, it will be costly. Yeah, but if let's say the team is only have 4 people, it will halve the cost, right? If the team is only 3 people, it's about 2/3 of the cost. It can reduce the cost a lot for the organization. You'll be happy working with each other. You have your own responsible, and you'll be more responsible for what you're doing, rather than you waiting for your manager to approve your idea. You're waiting for someone else to approve it, but you have to protect your idea. Yeah. With this, I'm going to keep it simple. We would love to think that in the new normal, organization should be agile, should be more nimble. To do what? To create, faster job, cheaper in cost, and also better in solutions. Yeah, and by that, I just want to end my presentation. It's quite short. Keep it simple. Yeah. So go back to Mr. Hai.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Thuận, has come here to share with us on his experience and in his agency as well. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And for the audience watching on Facebook on live stream, so if you have any questions, just type in the chat box so we can send to Mr. Thuận to answer. Okay. So before we're waiting for the questions, so I have the questions for you first. Okay.
Okay.
Talking about the data, things about influence about the creativity nowadays. So do you think that's any influence on creativity by the data? Because you have mentioned before in one of the slide, you say that the general has become the context. So how the creative can work based on that way?
Okay, so I think like it's a big myth about how the creative people look at data. Yeah, the data itself, it's let you understand like where people do and how people behave in certain contexts, right? But the creative, you have to solve the problems. Like I say, the creative itself is actually based on you understand about the problem that people are doing. But with the data, people behave to respond with the problem. You can give a better and more accurate idea to solve the problems. It's not about, let's say if you talk about, I just give you an example. A lot of people say, right now the creative should be like 6-second bumper ad in YouTube, or maybe, 5 seconds, 5 seconds on Facebook ads. Yeah, it's just mediums. But if you look at like why people just look at 5 seconds in Facebook, why people only need 6 seconds for bumper ad, they just want an impression, and that impression will leave the data in the Facebook or YouTube, and then you can lead them to somewhere else later on. Say you can see the first impression in YouTube here, and then when you go to a newspaper, you see the Google display network. You try to convince them about different content to try your website or try your Facebook page. That is the power of data. It's not about, you learn too much about the 15 seconds, you learn too much about 6 seconds, and then you forgot about what's the problem you need to solve for the customer, for the clients, yeah, for the business. Yeah. So, and about the influence of data, I think like the data right now, it's a lot. It's just a matter of what kind of data you're picking on. Just to give an example. in the YouTube, apart from the let's say you upload a 2 minutes or 3 minutes video, right? They have one data point which is called the retention rate. So meaning like how much people keep on seeing your content throughout the video. That retention rate will help you to determine like whether the creative it actually makes sense and resonate to the people who watch it. Yeah. So you can take it data and say the next time you produce an idea for a client like that, what should you do? Yeah, you see like there's one idea that there's one video work that we work for clients. Mostly people will drop out of the video from 100% to 30% in the first 6 seconds. And then we figured out that, you know, the content is quite boring. Yeah, they don't have anything. It's just a slow-mo something, and people just drop it. Yeah, and then there's the video. We see the retention rate, which is 40% when the product is coming. Yeah, so we have to change. Let's say there's a work like that. When people see the product appearing, I mean, we have the contact set up, and then when the product comes in, it's 1 minute, but people drop it at 45 seconds. So the next video we produce, we try to get the product to be appear, not in the first 6 seconds, in the 35 seconds, to make sure that people recognize the product before they drop it. Yeah, this is how data can influence the way creative work to be more effective, not just change the way creative work. So this is an example that we have done before.
Okay, thank you. We have another questions from the online ones. So, if I have to prepare for myself to work after the COVID, what area should I focus? Data or creativity?
Okay. But okay, if you are in the creative industry, then focus in creative and try to understand the how impactful of the data to your creative. If you are just, you know, a student just graduate from a marketing stream of a company, right? Depend what kind of position you want to work. Sometimes you just want to work in, you know, a social media team where you understand data is more helpful for you to create the content. Yeah. Then try to understand about the data. Try to understand about how much people search certain keyword. Yeah. How to find it, and then you can create. Let's say if you talk about travel, right? What kind of keyword a lot of people search when they go for travel? And then you drive content based on that keyword, so that's why you can gain more traffic to your article. Yeah, so depends on what you want to do after you graduate. So let's say you want to be like a copywriter, so try to do very good in writing and try to produce a good idea that solves business problem, and then you move on to understand about data. But if you, again, at the same time you work as, you know, the designer in website design, or you work as a social media writer, then try to understand data first. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Any questions from you guys? Okay. Any? Yes.
I want to ask you, as a member in creative industry, have you ever had a fear that one day don't have enough ability to be creative and you feel left out for the next generation?
I would say I do sometimes. There's two layers of that creativity. One is about how deep your thinking is, how deep the creativity can solve the problem. Yeah, and second is how relevant to the now, right? Yeah, let's say you work for, you know, teenager, young people, right? You have to understand about TikTok, right? My own generation, we don't play TikTok, except me. Just give an example, right? We talk about Tinder is something cool, right? We don't play Tinder, we play different platform, yeah? So I think like the relevancy is really important for the creativity right now, yeah? No, I think that's two layer. If you ask me like if I'm afraid to be left out, yes I do. The relevancy of the new, right? But about how deep the thinking, how deep the creative can be. It's just an idea, Sometimes the idea is just right on the surface of a problem. But sometimes that idea can go deep to the problem and can solve a problem in a bigger scale. Just give you an example, yeah? I'm working on I'm trying to think that whether I can share with that. Okay. I'm working on the a travel accessory industry, simply we sell luggage. You see travel right now, nobody travel, so luggage cannot sell. Yeah, but we need to grow our business no matter what. So how? Yeah, in that perspective, you need to solve the business problem in the creative way. Sometimes I have to input the creative. I say, what kids are doing right now? What young people are doing right now? What kind of product they are wanting right now? How can we renovate the ideas? Let's say if we rent the luggage to young people who want to travel to the Dalat, right? 3 days, 4 days, 3 nights. They have a lot of clothes to take selfie. They need a bigger luggage, but they buy a luggage. It's a waste. Yeah. What if we rent for them? So we are running the business model based on that to support for these people like you guys, to help you guys to have a chance to go travel further, but more convenient. So this is something about understand the now and also how deep the solution could be. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions from a room? So I have another questions from the live stream. So according to your modules of the last slides, okay, the team should be empowered to do their job and close job task effectively. Does it mean that the employee is expected to have more skills in order to work effectively? So how their roles can be defined and how you can evaluate their performance?
Okay. When you work at a team, the successful of the team is the successful OT member, right? So over here, actually, you see they still have blue, dark blue, and also orange, right? But in a smaller team, we still have these people in it, but in the lesser people in one team. Yeah, let's bring more responsible accountability to the people. So when you talk about do we need more skill, we should. Yeah, right now, let's say if we have one skill, just focus on that to be a master in it. And then in the next 9 months or maybe a year down the road, you expand your skill to another one. So to give an example, you are an art director. You just do what you do is you you give idea from visual. But can you write in Vietnamese or can you write in English? Can you write better in Vietnamese over time? So it's not to become a copywriter, but you can write when you need help. When the copywriter got busy or they need help with your team. Yeah, you're more diversified, right? For a creative, like for art director, do you want to know about how Instagram will look like? I mean, how art direction and Instagram will impact people? Yeah, you can, right? Then you can have the social team can produce better content. So diversify your skill is a must, but we need time to do that. It's not about 6 months down the road, we know everything. No, just give yourself about 9 months or 1 year down the road for one skill to be master. Yeah, and then you train yourself along the way. You learn new skill. You train yourself to be better in your own skill. Yeah, and also you talk about how to make it successful. We just count everyone at once. Yeah, if the project is successful, everyone is successful. If the project is failed, everyone got failure, right? And you have a mission to learn. You have a lesson to learn. Then try to improve it the next time. So to me, I think like moving forward is better than looking backward and say who fault is it. When like let's say for a pitch, when we don't win a pitch, everyone don't got money. Yeah, everyone fail, right? So it's just we have to understand that concept, and then we can get better. It's not about okay because I'm a superhero, so everything comes to me. No, not like that. Yeah.
Okay, I think this is the last questions for you as well. So, anyone else have any questions? Okay, my question is about you talking about the funnel of the marketing.
Okay.
So it means that when you come to the digital, era of virtual things, each of the stage of the funnel, we can define, a different message to different, target audience, and how the creativity can apply for each of the funnel to send the message to your target audience.
Okay, so I think like I show on the funnel and show you that digital can go across the funnel, but actually there's 2 key funnel here. In the first 2 funnel, which is build awareness and interest. That is the role of ATL and traditional creative and also digital communication right now we're doing. Sometimes you see in ads, we just register something that you can remember. Yeah, say I have a new phone and I got that phone. They can have take very great selfie because they got AI technology that can, you know, make your face a little bit, you know, V-lines, and then this and that, fine tune this and that. So this is a key asset that we launched. And then for people who see that key asset, what do we want them to see? Sometimes we run ad for considerations. We run an ad that talking about, you know, apart from V-line AI technology, we have these function A, function B, because we see that that function is relevant to your behavior. Say you love travel, so we push the content about travel to you and run media for people like that. Say you like technology, we run an ad that talking about how much, you know, powerful spec we have in a phone. It depends on your behavior. We run different content, which means different creative, right? Different idea for you based on the media. And for people who see the first content, see the second content, but they don't interact. Yeah, they just see it for just half a second. We run different content for them again to gain them back to us. If they don't engage with us, like, get rid of it. But they engage with us, it's a different content we can show to them. So that's why I say from the first piece, we can run to a third or the fourth layer of this, a different content, but based on the same, you know, thinking about we can content ideas for people who have a different need. Yeah. So let's say, I'll just give you an example. I work for one smartphone company, and that idea, that project, what we run for competitors, brand who use their phone, know who the phone has been manufacturing and launched 2 years ago, and our message about it's the time to move, to change. Yeah, it's very direct for that. So let's say you use my brand phone, you don't see it. But if you use that particular smartphone brand name, particular model, you will see that ads. Yeah. Sometimes you see, like when you go to like certain spaces, you see ads at a space. Like you go to sales center, sometimes you see that other people who selling product in the sales center. We customize like that. So it's not about, oh, we get rid of it, we just do it. No, we have to combine it. And from this, what else? Let's say we expand your skill, right? What else you can do? Like how much data you understand to create better idea for layer funnel, yeah, and it make more effective.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Any questions? No. Okay. All right. So thank you, Mr. Thuận, has come here to share. You know, it's very interesting topic about, you know, new errors, the new things is you know, we have after the COVID, what have to do and how digital contribute to that change in the next 10 years as well. So thank you everyone to watch and to follow us on the live stream as well. So we'll see you in the other activity on, you know, VFCD 2020 by RMIT Việt Nam. Thank you very much.